Hey guys, it's One100 here. I'm luckily enough able to make an update today, just because I have some extra or spare time that I've actually been up to a bit of work, but not that much. Because I said that the next update I'd be able to do with mid-June, but it turns out that I have just a bit more time to spend on the layout. So I decided to make an update with this spare time. So yeah, the thing that I've actually been doing the most is the track work. As you can see, I have 5 running lanes now, but as you can see I only have the first train is running around. The 4th lane is the only lane that runs around the whole layout, and yeah, it's a blue Pullman. Yeah, that runs around the whole layout. As you can see, it goes all the way around and then back, and then into the tunnel area. Now, not really much to say about the track work except from, yeah, it's all Pico, Flex track, code 100. And yeah, this is my siding area. This will become siding area. We'll have a couple of sidings off here. That's all my siding area. I don't generally saw trains, so I don't need much siding area. The construction of this I decided to change a bit, only to alter it slightly, so it's a bit easier for me. Because I just thought that at the time when I built this, I could maybe use something like the, what do you call them? The hinges you use for the doors. I could use it on this, but I think this is too big as a piece of wood to be used as a lift up thing. So I think I went off and reconstructed this from the sides, pretty much took it all out and redone it in a way, but just not the same construction. I had this sheet of wood, it's now drilled in, but the difference is that I have to come around here and show you, is I have gaps and I've raised it, so the total width of the height of it is really tall, and that can literally enable me to get through any part of the layout or cleaning or anything. I can't lift up, but I made sure the track work on this area is pretty much perfect. I've drilled down. I use screws to make sure that it doesn't move on pretty much every 10 centimeters of track. And yeah, these beams come up. I need another 2 to fill up there, and then there'll be another sheet of wood on top, and this will make basically my tunnel area. So as you can see, there's a gap here where I can get through. I can literally stick my hand through there. So yeah, then there'll be another level on top of this. So in that case, there'll be another level. Not because I'm having 2 suspension bridges up here. Hopefully up here at the front, and I have a raised level, so there's no incline. I want to avoid incline. So there'll be 2 suspension bridges, and then there'll be another level. Basically, it won't look exactly like this, similar. Space for 2 suspension bridges, and then up there is going to be a town with a running car system, hopefully. So yeah, and there's more space on the side, so yeah, pretty much have all access points to the layout. Yeah, so that's that. But as you can see, last time it was about that high, so where this beam ends, and now it's raised by another beam, and that basically gives it more height and yeah, less chance of the train hitting, especially if the pantograph is active. Also, I've started adding platform. I was questioning myself on how I was going to make this actually, because it was on an S curve, and they're quite hard to actually make platform on. So I bought a Metcalf kit and I started building the basics of it, but then I decided I don't really need the Metcalf kit that much anymore, because I only needed it for the side walls, which just to give it a bit of definition. As you can see, there's the sidewalls and they're the brick type. So what I'm going to do is to make, because I don't find card will work that well in a shed, especially if I'm going to use the whole construction. I mean, I could just paint it over with glue or something and it will seal it, but I don't want to do that. So I've decided to buy some balsa wood, 12.6 millimeters high, which is around 1.2 centimeters. It's just under the height of this, but then I'll go over it with a bit of polyfiller, just to raise the height, or I just leave it right. I don't really need to do anything. And basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to carve the balsa wood, and this is kind of a guide to help me get round to placing it in. And balsa wood's a bit harder, it's easier to work with, I think. The card kits are really well. I thought it would work, but I think the sides are the only thing that has worked for me. So yeah, this is the start of the platform. It's about 6 foot long, perfect for trains like the Blue Pullman, but as for the Pendolino, it's a bit long for. I have no space to make a platform that long for it anymore, because I have a lot of S-curves in this layout, which has enabled me to make those big bends that I'd never had on the previous layout like that. That's what's enabled me to have 5 running tracks. My smallest radius is radius 2, which will be the 5th lane, and that's just going to have 3 on it. I mean, the Blue Pullman's happily running around the 4th radius curve, or the 4th lane perfectly fine, and it's quite a long train. And believe it or not, that is 3rd radius, and that is a really tight curve. Seems to run around it fine. There will be another tunnel here with the town scene like the old layout, but it'll be a bit bigger, and yeah, a bit more well constructed, I guess. So yeah, not much else to say actually, except from, yeah, this is finished off the track work. I got my select out because the dynamics was completely acting up. This is my new Pico ICD3 train. It's got sound in it. Had problems, but now I've added pickups to. I didn't know this, but to be honest, the electricity only gets inputted from this side of the power, the motor car. I don't know why. They should be picked up from both sides. But there's metal couplings here, which transfer the electricity. Each one has these. So there's power pickups. I've used DCC Concepts one. So there's power pickups here, 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 and here. And yeah, so that basically gives it, because before it only had pickups on this one bogie and it just didn't have enough power to power it all. It was the copper tab one, so it's not that good. But now everyone has pickup. It really does run amazing. I can't really run it now because the track's finished off, but I have ordered a new box because, to believe it or not, this bend will require quite a lot of track to finish off the 4 lanes, and plus I have the sidings, which will take up maybe 3 or 4 pieces. Plus I have the second upper section, which will have 2 lanes, each being around 3 meters across, 3 meters that way, over 3 meters. So that's 6, and then the bends will be around 6, about 8, 9, about 10 meters plus of track there. So yeah, I'd maybe just have enough. I'll just be able to get through it, because this is 3 boxes, and actually this is more than 3 boxes because I used all the spare track I had as well from ripping up the old layout, so it's a bit more than that. But yeah, it's quite bad weather, so I can't do anything, and plus I have my exams, so I'd be lucky to actually finish off a bit of track work, because as I said, this was done over the Easter period. So all I've done was that, just to finish off the loop, and I've added all the bus wires in. So yeah, the fish plate wires. And what I've done is to prevent, because I'm weathering the track, and I'll show you that right now, I've used some wire glue just to go over the sleepers, and that just prevents the contact from losing. So like, the paint's not really a big matter, but it will still ruin the conductivity at one point. It's the glue that will really mess it up. So yeah, so by adding that some wire glue, it's instead of solder, and it's more flexible. It just seeps through the sleepers and dries, and it's giving me more conductivity if anything. And yeah, and then I just gone over it. I sprayed this with sleeper grind, this stuff. I don't use airbrushes, so yeah, I've just gone over it. I've just gone over this side so far, and it kind of gives the tracker coat of paint as well to protect it from the glue, because it's an enamel, so it will just seep off. And I'm using the Woodland Scenics ballast, as you can see there, the medium blend, because I find that's really nice compared to the one I was using before. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna paint about another coat. I'm gonna finish it off with this. This side's still not coated, and I'm gonna ballast the whole thing. I'm gonna probably start off really small section just to see how it goes, and I'm gonna paint it over again. But this time I'm gonna have to avoid getting the ballast wet or painted. If I do, then it'll kind of ruin it. But yeah, I'll paint the ballast later, or I may just get spray paint and just go within the track sleeper and then be really precise with the side. This bottle's actually run out because I kind of overdone this area, because I kind of ruined 2 pieces of track when I was testing the ballast and stuff and trying to see which one was. I should have really used a test piece track, but I got a bit tempted to use something else. So yeah, I like this area. I think is going to be my main like terminus siding area. This side there, I'm going to have a retaining wall back here running across, and then this side is going to be my junction area. I know it's not realistic, but it doesn't really matter to me as long as it works. Yeah, so basically it's just being able to switch the trains to either track. There will be a station here, but I'm really not sure. I think you guys can help me on this. I'm not sure if to get rid of this siding and to make a long station from here all the way around, which is at least over half the length of the Pendolino, at least. So I'm making most of the space I have. And the Pendolino is about 7 foot, over 7 foot, that from here to here. So yeah, the whole baseboard's about 8 foot, so it's just over 7 foot, I'd say, if I finish off the platform. If I do that, I can potentially get, to be honest, it's about the length of the Pendolino, just maybe cut off the 2 power bogies, but you don't really need those to show up. So that's pretty much the whole 9 car. I mean, I could test it right now, but just bring it. Oh. Yeah, as I said, actually it's just the 1 car, if I'm being honest. So if say the platform finished up here, it would then carry on. What I may potentially do is add a piece of wood here and kind of extend the bend so it goes out more, and then I can still have the siding and a platform. But yeah, that is probably the only way I can get through of having a station with not doing it. But that will take some thought. I think I'm going to leave the siding area for now, just purely because of the station. I don't know what to do about the station. I'm having some problems with the running of the Pendolino as well. Not sure why, but it just wouldn't run properly. Oh, just trying to get this back in. It's just unpopping. There we go. I was just having some running problems. It just wouldn't run. It wouldn't respond to most of the commands given from the select, so yeah, I think I'll leave the Pendolino for now. But I'm quite surprised actually that I could possibly make a platform as long as the Pendolino on just this side. I mean, I want to make it as realistic as possible, so I've always wanted kind of a run-in platform thing like this, where you have 3 lanes in the middle and 1 lane here. So you have 2 lanes which pick up the platform, because it looks quite cool to have a couple of trains speeding past when you have the train just waiting at the platform. I think that looked pretty decent. I don't know if I can accomplish that somehow. Yeah, I think the S-curve platform, once it's finished, will look pretty sleek looking than a straight platform. I also have a bit more space. The widest section is here, and that's being wider. I think here I'll have like a building or something, like a waiting area, and I'll put like another waiting area here, or maybe even the entrance to the station, those big back from the station buildings. That would look pretty good down there. And then maybe on this side I'll have, or even I could put it on this side the entrance, but it wouldn't. It'd be more like it'll work better, I think, down here, because then you have the road, the actual motorway where cars run, and that motorway actually goes into the tunnel, so it turns round, which is pretty good. So yeah, it's good I kept this motorway, because it did take me ages to cut it all and put it down. It took me ages and paint. But yeah, once that's refurbished in a way, or rejuvenated or whatever, it will look pretty good. So yeah, I think the weathering's turning out well. I mean, I do recommend getting that if you're not good at painting, because I think it gives a nicer finish to the layout. I mean, painting it is good, but it's a bit thick, especially if you're using enamel. So spraying it is much faster, much easier. It took me like 10 seconds literally. And yeah, so imagine how long it would take me for the whole layout. Just need to get maybe 2 of those spray bottles to go around the whole layout. Yeah, so pretty much finished that. Nearly there with the final construction of the track work and stuff. I just need to finish off, you know, the last couple of things, and I'll be done. I do highly recommend getting these as well. These pre-wired fish plates from eBay. It's about £2 per like 6-pack of each. It's pretty good. I mean, you can send the guy a message and he'll do you quite a lot for a good price. So I can't remember his name. It's AGL something. I can't remember. Well, very, very good stuff, because then you can do whatever you want to them. You can even solder them to the rail if you want to make a good connection, because this, not only does this enable you to like to easily power a section, you're not only powering one side of the rail but 2 sides. So ideally you're powering 2 whole lengths of rail, and then by the time you get to the end of the second length, you're already gone to the next bus wire. So yeah, literally I've tried to put a bus wire every couple of feet. So one there, then another one there. So it's really effective, much more effective running. Now they're all wired up. All the bus wires I have in are all wired. That took me a long time because the space. I literally had to crawl under the table to get in. So yeah, all those bus wires using those Scotch lock thingies. Just use pliers to put them in. They seem to work. Sometimes they don't always work, but I have no way of testing if it actually made a reliable connection, because I wasn't sure. So just have to wish it is connected. But so far all the running seems to be fine, so I'm guessing there's nothing wrong. So yeah, I think I have decided to remove this at one point, because I think this is just taking up valuable platform space, and to be honest, even though I'm having a siding, it won't be that big, so I can still have the siding with the platform. I just have to because I tried to make this bend as long as possible, because this is where the pendolino may be stored, but then I don't really have any space to store it, so I think this will be removed. Or I could just have this tiny area for siding, but I think that's a bit unrealistic with all the space I've got. So yeah, I think I'll remove it, or just kind of extend the bend and make it sharper a bit, because it is quite a long bend. So if I just bring it in, maybe just start bending it off here instead, and then maybe adding a piece of wood here, which is quite hard, but I think I can do it. and then it will still have the same curvature, just and the larger space between the tracks. Try and get around. I need at least that much space, I'd say. I want it quite wide. I like wide platform. It gives it definition a bit more. I mean, the balsa wood I ordered quite a lot, so I have enough. I ordered 20 pack of 45cm long pieces. So yeah, that's quite long. More than 6 foot definitely, and each width of it is 10 centimeters. So that would definitely get me around. Even with all the cutting and stuff. So hopefully by the next update I'll be able to start on the platform, because my first job though, priority is the track work. I hate having absolute track work. I'm just about finishing off the curve. I'm still not sure actually to put a tunnel there, because I have limited access to points. What I may have to do is actually have the tunnel pushed further back, maybe on this line, which where those buildings are right now, have it there so I can stick my hand all the way, at least halfway, or I could have, because I'm going to keep the back open, because at one point I may be able to remove that big cabinet and get it out of the way, so I can then access it from the back as well. But then I only have the sides for now. But yeah, all the track under the tunnel, I make sure that I do the best of my ability, especially with the unlevelness of that area, because you know it's a bit unlevel, but it's not that unlevel because this layout was never built on proper wood structure, because I didn't, in case I want to move it or stuff, I can take it down with limited effort. So this I just have to unscrew the board and lift it up, cut the track works, and yeah, I can move it. It's a bit easier, you get more space at the end. And these are on flexing folding tables as well, 4 of them. They're really strong. I mean, that kind of actually reinforces it, that second level of the tables, because that is attached straight to the wall. That is actually drilled right to the wall, and then this whole table doesn't move as much. So yeah, it's really strong. It's got one stand here, another one in the middle directly where the wood is, and another one there, so it won't flex, and they got the wood on top. So yeah, it's really strong. And it gives me tons of storage space than it did in the old layout. So yeah, it's kind of like a baseboard on top of a baseboard, if you like. But yeah, the platform is really nice like that. Just nice curvature. You see a train coming in, and I'm gonna have a tunnel here. I've told this guy on eBay. I found him. So Hobbies by Design, I think. I asked him nicely to make a tunnel mouth the length of just the length of this, because I can't. It's pretty much impossible unless I scratch build it. So he's gonna make it, and it's about 60 centimeters wide. I'm gonna have to modify it myself. I'm gonna have to cut it off because the platform's there. So yeah, I think that's it for now. Don't have anything else to say except from yeah. I will be able to make an update in about 2 weeks' time, because that's when I finish all my exam. Actually no, that's when it starts. So I'll probably be able to make an update after mid-June, so around the 20th, I'd say. Just the 20th, I'll be able to make an update. And yeah. So thanks for watching, and please remember to rate, comment and subscribe, and bye for now.